Welcome, everybody. Yay. So, I'm glad everybody got to come in and spend a little time together. It's not very often we get to see each other all at once. Usually it's one person in the studio at a time. Lonely, dark, underground. And here we are, out. So if everybody can join us, everybody can join us. We're just having too much fun. The first thing I want to do is to let everybody know that we have a new slate of board officers effective October 1st. And I wanted to introduce all of you who haven't met our board president, David Franco, to David, wherever he is. Where are you, David? There he is, back there. So Diane is still on our board, but she's passed the baton over to David. She's on her board too. Kringle? Peanut Gallery's talking over there. Ignore them. All right, so tonight we're going to recognize certain individuals who have done things that really shine this past year. But I want to take just a few minutes before we start doing that to reflect on what we all did together in 2017. So, the first thing that we did together, which is what we always do, is broadcast live 8,760 hours. That's how many hours in a year. So I wonder if everyone who was part of that 8,760 hours could just raise your hand if you were on the air this past year. Yay. Kudos to all of you. So while that was going on, there were other things happening as well, some simultaneously and some on the air while you were on the air. We did, I'll just list off a few, 10 town hall or community forums ranging everything from dementia to congressional town halls. We did 2 of those. My favorite part was listening to it on the radio, and it sounded like it was a medieval cavern with people with turkey legs in the background going, arr, arr, arr. Those were a lot of fun. And we also live broadcast 5 music festivals, the normal suspects. Yay. If I counted correctly, we live broadcast 17 music performances in addition to those festivals in places like the Auburn Event Center, the KVMR Community Room, the Center for the Arts, and Alaska. Thank you, Sherry and Paul, for the Alaska contribution. We also did some firsts this year. We do a lot of broadcasting of music, but this year we broadcast the Poetry Festival. It was the first annual Poetry Festival. We're planning to do that again this year. We did some theater from the Nugget Fringe Festival, and we did a lot of our other staples like Martin Luther King Day, Indigenous Peoples Day, and we live broadcast from the county fair, as we often do. So how many people in this room were involved in some way in those live broadcasts, either in the studio or out in the field? A lot of you. It takes a village to do that. Thank you, Luke and Maggie. So we also, in addition to all those live broadcasts, we launched some new shows. There were a number of them. You cannot escape. We launched several new shows, such as Classical Showcase, The Beer Show with the Suds Buds. They were live on location today, in case you missed that. He Said, She Said, Boomerang Beat, and there were several others as well. We also, thanks to Sean's leadership, launched KVMR-X on April 1st. And we do have a few intrepid KVMR Xers in the room. Travis, Susanna, there's one over there. We have another one over there. Fabulous. They've had 3 or 4 training classes and are increasing. Right now they're doing about 50 hours a week live, and the rest is from Sean's mixed brain. So we also, in addition to that, had a lot of special coverage of local fires, Veterans Day, and various political events, some of which we wish we could forget. While all that was happening, we were also doing a lot of new events this year to raise money for the station in general and also for our building project. We did the Animal House Tin Art project here in this building, which is a load of fun. That was a collaboration with the Nevada County Arts Council. And we did, which was kind of the surprise event, it was the Summer of Love event where we expected maybe 300 people to show up and 800 came. So that was a blast. We also did a small event, a Hard Day's Night, which is a movie showing over at the Nevada Theater, and we showcased some of Richard Dunk's special cocktails there, which were kind of deadly, I have to say. Thank you, Richard, for that. And the last event that we did was, thanks to John Adams, Larry Hilberg, and Brian Turhos, was the sold-out City Folk event over at the Nevada Theater. And another event that we do every year was incredibly successful this year, and that was the music sale. First time we'd done it in a storefront in Grass Valley, and we actually were able to sort of send 6,000 CDs and records onto their next incarnation. And from that sale, we donated $2,000 to fire relief through a fund at Tri-Counties Bank. So all of this and the staff, the small staff that we have who works to provide the platform so that you guys can do what you do best is, oh no. It's so you can do what you do best, Mary. And we ended up just a great year. The community really embraced us. We have more in business support this year than we ever have in the history of KVMR. We had the best Celtic festival that we have ever had. Yay. We had the highest membership donations in 5 years. Thank you, Adriana, and thanks to all of you who go on the air fearlessly and ask people to share their shekels with us. We sold a few translator permits, which brought in some additional funds for us, and we also survived the threat to CPB grant funding, and that was a huge thing for us. So because of all that great success, where's your turkey leg, Robert? Okay, tofu turkey leg. So we were able this past year to put money in our reserves. We paid down some of our building construction loans, and we were able to do the things that we need to do so that you can do the mission of KVMR, which is bringing us to the community. So for 2018, we take all those successes and wonderful creativity from 2017, and we just got permission from the FCC to purchase a translator from KNCO 2 weeks ago. So that's in process, and in the next couple of months, we're going to be having some meetings and figuring out what our next adventure is going to be. And you all are an integral part of that. So much love, much gratitude. You're such an asset to the community. Thanks to you all.
Hello, everyone. We're putting the volunteer awards and the program awards on just a little hold here tonight. Okay. Wow, Paul's making me stand up straight. Jeez. Anyway, we're putting our the program awards and the volunteer awards on just a few minute delay here because we feel so lucky to have with us tonight someone who is going to be receiving a special pair of awards. And his schedule is limited with us here tonight, I guess you'd say. The Bill Tuttle Lifetime Achievement Award, named for Bill, who came to KVMR after retiring as a California state employee dealing with aging to be a radio host for more than 20 years, doing a show on aging. Good choice. Now there's a second career for you folks. And he was the oldest radio show in the country when he retired a second time. I think he was around 93 or 94 years old. The award covers excellence in programming, broadcasting, and service to KVMR. You can tell this by the list of the previous winners. Bill Tuttle himself, Eric Rice, Mikhail Graham, Dawn Fisher, Len Gorski, Allison Miller, Chris Town, Al Lauer, Paul Emery, Richard Tews, and Connie Cole. This year's winner twice served on the program committee and twice was elected to the board of directors, including one stint as president. He doesn't mind speaking at meetings. In fact, he can be outspoken. But few outspeak him. And he knows his Grateful Dead, one of the hosts of Jet Air since 1996, and he was the host of Night Roots since 1999, and a broadcaster for nearly, I believe, about a quarter century here. Health issues have forced him to leave those Saturday night programs. This year, he and Joel Brungart have also won a special award, Outstanding Music Special of the Year, for their epic 8-hour Veterans Day program, Next Stop is Vietnam, covering all of the music, pro-war to anti-war to pro-peace to anti-peace and everything in between. Ladies and gentlemen, we are thrilled to honor the 2017 winner of the Bill Tuttle Award for Lifetime Achievement in Service and Programming at KVMR, Mr. Richard Dunk. Joe is coming up. Someone's going to speak for him. I think he's great. He's actually coming up now.
So when I started on the air here, I always stood up. But now I'm going to sit down, and I'm not going to say very much. I do, however, want to thank Diane McIntyre for bringing me up to the people who made this decision. And I talked to my wife about this. This is not the Oscars. I didn't just find this out, so I got to plan. So we're going to hear from my wife, Debbie Tull, who's behind me right now, and a couple of my friends, my longtime radio buddies, Mikhail Graham and Joel Brungart. So please, let's have a big round of applause for my wife, Debbie Tull.
He forgot I'm really Club Deb. Some of you might remember every time, sometimes he acknowledged Club Deb. That's me. And I'm so proud of my husband because it would have been 22 years in February that we had met, and I started coming to the station and being his groupie, and then I became his wife. And one of the things that's best is he referred to KVMR as his best mistress. And we planned our wedding around KVMR, and we planned holidays and vacations, and I think she was a great mistress for her, but the competition was pretty tough. Anyway, I just thank you, KVMR. He loves this with every inch of his soul, and it's been a great ride. So, Mikhail, Joel, can you come help me out?
Well, it's been an amazing experience getting to know Richard over the years. There's been many an hour, many a dead marathon, doing what he does best. But as far as the Vietnam thing that we just recently did, this was really completely his idea, and who would have thought that there were still unresolved issues with the world at large in regards to the Vietnam War? And no matter what side of the issue you were on, we seem to have rubbed people the wrong way, which I took as a sign we were doing something right. And just as a little sidelight, during the course of the 8 hours that we were on Veterans Day, we had a gentleman show up that was drafted in 1969, the month that he graduated from college in Baltimore. Second lieutenant in the Army that was wounded, Marine Corps, drafted into the Army but enlisted in the Marine Corps. It was driving from Reno, where he is a junior college history professor, to reunite with some friends for Veterans Day, heard what we were doing, left Highway 80, drove to Nevada City, and gave us a very generous check for the station. So, so Richard, thank you for thinking of germinating the idea to begin with, and it was a real pleasure.
I thought the pleasure was all mine, man. I mean, I think you're the one who made the show. But I think Joel's being entirely too humble.
No, I insist it was all his. So, all right. So thanks to the program committee for saluting what happened on that day, and now I'm going to turn things over to Mr. Mikhail Graham.
I'll try and be brief. When this guy first showed up, it wasn't exactly, comrades in arms. What can I say? Famously, Richard told me that, how would one say it? It's better to do the good radio than to get along with other people. So, and I mean, if we have to get right down to it, that's kind of what, but if you could get along together, it'd be good too. This is a guy who married his girlfriend, okay? It wasn't just, anybody. This is a guy who goes back to KZAP and other radio stations before KVMR, working for them as well. Listening to him over the years, I've always enjoyed his programming, despite whether I got along with him or not. And when the opportunity came a few years ago to expand the other side into more and more guest hosts, when he stepped up to the plate, it's just amazing shows that he's done. And there's a whole lot of them that will be up on the internet that you can listen to at any time as well. He does great radio. He's the true quintessential FM radio guy. That's what I like about it. It wasn't just, like here's the liner notes and we did this and did that. It's coming from the heart. And that's what made me just enjoy working with this guy. And the privilege to have you on the other side as a guest host and just to know you, especially these last few years, it's just been one hell of a great time. And I love you. And I'm hoping you're going to be back to do some more shows, even if they're remote. So we'll make that happen one way or the other, man. So give it up for my man, Richard Dunk. Love you, buddy.
Richard Dunk, ladies and gentlemen.
All right, I guess back to the volunteer portion of the awards. I'm going to call up Buzz, actually, to start. Dave Barnett. Our illustrious chief engineer.
All right, let's see. Yeah, oh, that's right. These are all the people that I guess I'm usually like the shortest with the microphones. What can I say? All right, so these first two people, I had to come up with some other award because they do so much for the radio station, and I'm just in awe all the time. I can't tell you how many times one of these people calls me and says, do this or this or this, I'm thinking about this, or what do you think about this? And all of a sudden it happens, or it's a great idea, and we wind up doing it. Another one of them, he'll know who he is when I give this away, but I'll turn around and I'll see that he's working. And the reason I can tell this is because there's a computer by my office that he accesses remotely and gets in and does all this stuff. And he keeps our digital library together, both of them do, in a miraculous way. They've come up with some ideas that have been adopted and used by other radio stations all over the country and even professional organizations. And yes, they've gotten all sorts of awards, and I think we gave them a lifetime award and said, you've hit the pinnacle and you don't get any more, but I came up with the new one, all right? This is the Lofty Nerd Award, and the Lofty Nerd Awards go to Dennis Brunnenmeyer and John Adams. Thank you so much, both of you, for everything you've done. I know I saw Dennis somewhere. I saw Melissa. John? They're both here somewhere. Okay. We'll get it to him eventually. But he's coming. All right. Oh, where's Dennis? Note to Paul, new PA speaker over around the other side.
Buzz, he can't even hear the phone when he's sitting in the studio.
Thank you very much. That is the highest award that we could come up with. It is the Lofty Nerd Award, and I want to thank you both very much.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you to the best engineer I've ever known.
You did this?
Nope, it's yours.
Thank you very much.
All right, once again, thank you. And this individual, I'm not sure I've seen him tonight, but hopefully he's here. We had a new volunteer who came up to me and said, hey, I want to get involved in the engineering work, and I really would love to take part in this. And I said, hey, well, are you game for going out to Berryessa Peak? It's a long drive and it's a whole day, and we're going to like put something up on a tower and we're going to put something inside and we've got all this work to do and we got to string lines and stuff. And he said, yeah. And he came out to Berryessa Peak and helped me dramatically in one day where we worked on that and got the translator quite a bit towards being on the air. We didn't wind up putting it on the air that day, but we did shortly thereafter. And he's a great guy and helps out in many places, including the engineering area. And I'm not sure if he's here or not. Claudio, are you here? Claudio Mendoca? He has a new baby. I didn't think he was going to be here, but tell him he gets the award, and I will too, because he's been a great help in the engineering department, and I really appreciate it. Finally, we did a lot of live remotes this year, and I've been involved in a lot of them, but as Julie said, we've done an awful lot of new live remotes, not just festivals, but music programs and forums and, well, let's see, we did the beer show today as a live remote. Who would have thought that would be? And it turned out really, really well. So it's becoming something that I really got to say I dreamed of, because I think what better way for a community radio to be a community radio station than to get out into the community. And by going out and making our presence known for all of these people, we're taking something that's happening in our community and spreading it around. Plus, we're getting recognized in places that we otherwise would never be seen because we're there doing a live broadcast, and it's great. And I can't do it by myself, I know that. And I want to give special recognition to a gentleman who has really taken the bull by the horns in terms of engineering live remotes this year. And that would be Sacramento Dave. Come on up.
Thank you, buddy.
All right, thank you.
Okay, I have a few awards that don't fall in any specific category, like engineering or programming. But the first award is for someone who does something that very few people volunteer to do, and that is accounting. I know, I heard an ew over there, right? Exactly. But he actually likes it. And so most of you probably have never seen him. You don't know that he's there. He's sitting up in the office next to me, and he's been doing it 2 days a week for the last 15 months. And so I want Brand, are you still here, Brand? Needs to come up. He gets the Deluxe Double Checker Award for his amazing reconciliation skills. Something that needs to be done, and not everyone wants to do it. So the next award goes to a couple of ladies who have worked over a year on a project that was incredibly amazing. They recorded over 50 podcasts of people who are homeless, people who are formerly homeless, people who work with the homeless, and they got a grant from Cal Humanities. They also got a grant from the California Arts Council. And they culminated their project on November 16th over at the Center for the Arts with an amazing, really compassion-provoking presentation, multimedia presentation to end up their incredible year-long project. So they called their project Place to Call Home. It was part of our Story Catchers series, which you can see on our website. All the podcasts are still there. Please check them out. Incredible ladies, and I've really been honored to work with them. That's Betty Louise and Susan Davis. I've been wanting them to tell me what they're going to do next. It was such a great project. Thanks so much. All right, next up is Paul Emery.
Was that an update, Wes? That is a news update? Doug Jones won the election? Well, here I am, I guess. Now this is, I just want to make sure this is not fake news. I don't want to embarrass myself up here. Okay. Wow. Okay. Well, there we go. What's good timing, I guess, for me. Makes me. Well, folks, I was involved in starting the KVMR news department way back about 1997, I do believe. When I had a tenure as program director, and when I got that job, I said the main thing I want to do is start a news department at KVMR, and by golly, a bunch of people stepped forward, and there you go. We started a news department, and I ran it for a while, and Joan Buffington ran it for a while, then Mike Thornton for many years, and then Brian Bayhuth. Everybody remember Brian? And then I circled back. I kind of outlasted everybody, and so I'm doing it. I've been doing it now for, I don't know, quite some time. Anyway, I just love doing it, and I have Felton and Charlotte helping with the news now, and let's hear it for them. And I do have to say that KVMR News is independent news. Nobody tells us what to do, and we certainly, we work at it. We work hard at it, and we try to keep you informed. Not so much just the hard news, but the soft news as well. Things that are happening in the community with real people and things that are going on. So it's my pleasure to do that. Okay, part of the news that we have is, if you listen to our newscast, you'll hear at the very end we say thanks to KVMR AV News is produced by the staff and volunteers of Community Radio KVMR. And the volunteer part is a very important part of KVMR. And there's 3 people tonight that we're going to kind of honor here that have been just doing it every week, for, in some cases, every other week, but for years and years and years and years. And this is, of course, in addition to KVMR's poet laureate, Molly Fisk, who gives us that part of the news as well. But I'd like to really thank, for their help in the evening news, Steve Baker, the other Steve Baker. Steve does water news every Monday, and just every Monday. And thank you, Steve. Also, there you go. Also, Mark Cunaberti. Is Mark here? Mark is here. He's the one that's got the voice that sounds like this, that cuts right through everything, telling about the financial news. And well, okay, You know who Mark is. And then our every other week commentator and a good friend of mine, George Rebane. Come on up, George. 8 years, I do believe. We've been doing Rebane's Ruminations. And yeah, if you haven't met him, this is George Rebane. Every other Wednesday. Thank you, George. There are lots of other people, but we're focusing on these folks today. Thank you very much, and thanks for all the work all of you do for KVMR. Thank you.
Next, I'd like to bring our membership coordinator, Adriana, up. Where you at, A?
Hi. Wow, you guys are awesome. Can you believe that Doug Jones just won? Oh my God. I didn't think that it was possible because it's Alabama, even though it's 2017. Politics, I never get it right, and I'm so glad right now. It's really awesome. So, membership had an amazing year, actually. And it is due to all of these gorgeous faces that I see out here. I think we did tens of thousands of dollars better than we expected. And that's really, I know, and it's really all the broadcasters who put together great shows. It's the folks who show up at the phones. It's a lot of creative energy that goes into making the station great and making a case for why people should join and pay money for what is essentially free. So thanks so much to all those folks. But then there's also this like really less sexy side where they don't get on the air and they just are. Richard. This is a sidebar. The first time I met Richard Dunk was about 6 years ago in January when I very first started here. And he called me on the phone, and while we were talking, he corrected my pronunciation of the word detritus. And so I read a lot, and sometimes my vocabulary is bigger than my ability to pronunciate, and Richard corrected me in such like a perfectly acerbic and charming way that we were just like fast friends after that. It was like, hey, yeah, Richard, Dr. Deeds. So I'm really glad he could make it tonight. That was fantastic. But there's a lot of people who do a lot of really unsexy work of trying to get out about the 2,000 gifts that we give away. So we send out membership cards and we send out renewal letters. We send out about 20,000 pieces of mail, but about 2,000 of those are weird, cobbled together, homemade gifts that somebody makes up out of and they're like, hey, you know, what was the craziest one? This last year, I think it was Elisa Parker, offered somebody a cake, and I didn't know about it. And the lady called me like 4 months after Elisa gave it away on the air, I swear to God. And she calls me up and she's like, where's my homemade cake? And I was like, let me try to get back to you on that. I'm sorry, Lisa. But she came through, right? I mean, Adela, you're awesome. Baking homemade cakes, all right, for the people who love us. It's fantastic. So, but there's a lot of weird stuff that goes into it. Like John Adams probably made over 400 CD sets in his office this year. That's an enormous undertaking. And so I know, and it's amazing that John does it. We have a little joke that I'm demands and he's fulfillment. So we call each other up and like, you know, I make insane demands and then he figures out a way to fulfill them, even when they're nuts. So I appreciate that. Laura Sklar Oates, I don't know if she's here tonight, I don't think I saw her, but she has been pulling CDs forever. Like when I do Ticketpalooza and we need music there for people to figure it out, Laura pulls that and she does it without any kind of fanfare. These are all really low fanfare jobs. So most of the people who I thank are people who've been doing it for years. They don't care about awards. I've already given them 1 million awards and they're like, whatever, yeah, whoopee. Congratulations to me, but I still want to thank them. And so Beth Ann Rossler was our ticket master this last year, and she put together all the ticket placards. I think you guys all know when we have membership drives, we sometimes have like 50 or 70 ticket placards, and it's this really weird, complicated system, and Beth Ann Rossler did that, and she's awesome. And I know, and Brant, who got an award earlier, Beth Ann, I don't think she's here, but she's great. Brant made, I do the monthly reconciliations, which are really bananas, because sometimes we'll get like $70,000 in $5 payments in change and visas and PayPals, and people try to unload their kids. I'm like, no, we don't accept animals, okay? Seriously, we accept gold and stock, but not children or animals. And Brant actually makes doing the reconciliations sort of fun. I mean, I'm not going to say they're actually fun, but it's like almost fun. But he already got an award. And the artists, there's a lot of artists that contribute to making our stuff cool. And I really love them. I love them. And they do this work if they get paid, they barely get paid. They do it because they think KVMR is cool and they want to help. And that's Kim Rogers, who I just talked to today and was like, Kim, I need something right now. I know, she's great. And also Kathy Dotson is fantastic. I love Kathy. And Olaf Jens, too. We actually got the t-shirts in today, the Shiva t-shirts, and they look fantastic. So that's awesome. And, also Susan McGuire. Susan McGuire has been dedicating her time to the membership department since 1994. She doesn't want me to give her an award. She's probably not here tonight, but she is awesome. So if you ever run into Susan McGuire, just like, totally, she's great. And I do have 2 awards that I want to give. And the first one is to a woman who it's not really a membership job that she does, but she came to us through the first cyber volunteer that KVMR actually had, who's Len Yasunis. And like 5 years ago, Len started, there he is right there. He started recording the Money Matters shows, probably more than 5 years ago. And he was sending those out. And then he kind of recruited his wife to do a cyber volunteer job as well. So she is our Cyber Virtuoso Award for keeping the flea market online and up to date. And that's what she does. She spends hours a week making sure the flea market is something that people can access online. And it's fantastic. That's Roberta Price. Woo! Thank you so much. So you probably haven't seen her because she's at home doing this work, but she's great. And then I have one last award, and this is somebody who has also been up in the volunteer membership department with me for maybe 5 years, and I've given him all kind of awards, but this year he's gonna get the award for the best worst jokes in the membership department, because he comes upstairs and tells bad jokes while he actually does productive work and helps, until we want to strangle him or give him chocolate to shut him up or whatever. So a farce to be reckoned with award for Sean Huntley this evening. That's best worst jokes. No, we're not. He doesn't have to be on the spot. I don't think he needs to be on the spot. You have to come up and volunteer organically in the membership department, and you will be regaled. But for now, yeah, you will. But for now, Sean's off the hook. So thanks so much to everyone who's answered the phone, who's put together a show, who has done any kind of boring envelope stuffing work. I really appreciate you. And everyone can tell what a good job you all are doing, because we're kicking ass up here in the membership department. So thank you.
Okay, well, before I call this next person up, Buzz has a thing.
I do. I just wanted to tell you, I got a text from Claudio who says, "Long live community radio."
Cool. Well, as some of you know, well, I've been here a long time, and recently I started being here a little less. And so I had a partner in crime these past, I don't know, a little over a year or so. My partner in crime, Sue Lunsford, is, she's going to give the next awards here, but I just wanted to give her a brief shout out because she's on her way to more vacation time. She's taken off. And, you know, we honed this fine communication skills when we worked together this past year and a little more, I think. And I'm going to miss her. I think all of you are going to miss her. So thanks to Sue. I'm going to crinkle my papers here a little bit and call Sue up to give these next couple of words. Let's give a hand for Sue. My co-coordinator, partner in crime.
You're funny. One of our differences. I know. She's awesome. You guys are great. I fucking love you. So I have been this great couple years almost. And yeah, I have some awards here. This is all about you guys. I don't think either of these ladies are here tonight. Juanita Bratton or Therese Tessine, I haven't seen them tonight. Juanita is very stealth. She's done a lot of things from home like others. And you may or may not know, but when the broadcasters, when you guys do those logs every day and you do the interview sheets, those don't just disappear. They have to go and we make these community, what we've covered with news regionally and things interested, you know, the community, and we have to give them a report to the FCC once every quarter. And we were a little behind. So Juanita, I had a good project for her, took all these log sheets and put them all in order and sifted through every one of them and made a template from home and brought them all back and said, okay, we're good to go with a template. They're all in order. Now maybe you could get somebody to actually do this other part. So I don't know if you know Therese Tessine, but she is our front desk person on Friday afternoons, and she's been doing the board minutes forever, right? And so I said, Therese, have I got a job for you? So Therese took that, and ever since then, once a week when she comes in, she gets those log sheets, and she's got us all caught up to date by month. Everything's filed on time. So when you see Therese Friday afternoon, please tell her thank you. And I guess if I would ask one thing is maybe try to write so somebody could actually read what you wrote. So if there's news in there, we can put it in there anyway. So thank you, Therese and Juanita. You know, I notice a theme. Oh, sorry, Wes. I notice a theme with some of our awards, and it seems like, you know, the unsexy jobs, the unsung heroes, and the things that people do that just, in addition to everything else, just makes us whirl. So I've had the opportunity since I came on board to work with what we call the Wrecking Crew. And the Wrecking Crew is a group of guys who take turns every other week. They're here actually every other month. And they come in on Mondays, and it's Mondays because that's when the trash goes out. And they also do whatever else we need done to have help looking around and doing things to maintain the building that our custodians don't do. And so we have one person who came on board just this past year and has blown me away with all the things that he's done, and caulking toilets, you know, doing all kinds of things that aren't really all that fun, but he made it sound like a lot of fun. And so this is for, you don't really have to be a broadcaster to be a super real guy, David Whitehead. And that does it for me. I think Edie's up. Thank you.
Yeah, I got a few. All right. Well, you've all heard of the Avant Garage. Some of you have been to Joe's Garage. But how many of you have an empty garage? I bet Andy Dooley Miller and Shannon Dooley Miller do, because all the records are gone. Are they even here? Andy, Shannon? These guys stored records in their garage for how many years? 3 years. All for the record sale. You know, they love their son, and I know that's part of why they do it. And they love KVMR, but congratulations on your clean, empty garage. Okay. This next pair of awards, called the Blue Velvet Award. You're 2 for 2 tonight, Joyce. Yeah. All right. Well, we have that. We built our fabulous new building. We have our fabulous new community room, and it became very clear that we needed some fabulous new curtains for that community room. So we recruited Ms. Leslie Dillaway to do some sewing, and Ralph Henson to set up the hardware and design a whole system that I don't even know how he did it. And then for the first few times, every time we pulled them shut, they would fall down. And he fixed that. So would Ralph and Leslie please come up to receive your Blue Velvet Award? And if you haven't seen those curtains, they're yummy. Is Leslie gone? She was here before. All right. Okay, well, almost every year we have at least one award, which we call our Unsung Hero Award. The Unsung Hero is one of those people who doesn't get a lot of notice, doesn't get a lot of recognition, goes about their tasks, you know, quietly, cheerfully, generally, anyway. And I just want to recognize this person because he's been coming and helping setting up for events. When he's around the station, and he's around the station a lot, you know, he's the first person I grab, like, hey, can you help me with this? Hey, I need somebody to help me over here. He's helped his mom out a lot, and I'm pretty sure that's part of the reason he does it, but not all of the reason he does it. Liam Wilcox, would you please come and receive your Unsung Hero Award for all of your lifting and hauling and... Thank you, Liam. All right, the other one we do is every year we induct a person or persons into the KVMR Hall of Fame. Now, generally, those have been, you know, longtime volunteers that have just kind of, there's nothing else to thank them for. There's no more awards that they can possibly get. In this case, this is a relative newcomer. But this person has pretty much comes into my office once a week and says, all right, what do you got? And we go down the list, and he's like, sign me up for that, sign me up for that, sign me up for that, I'll do that. He also, so he's helped with a lot of events, event production, stage management, pledge drives, outreach. The list goes on and on. He also took on, under the excellent tutelage of Allison Miller, he's the new green, not queen. He's our new green crinkle. Christian Gutt, would you please come up? You have been inducted into the Hall of Fame. You're going to get your name on a little plaque. What did I miss? He said we can call him the trash man, so the trash man goeth. You're next. Last in this section. Okay, our last and final award in the volunteer segment. I'm going to let Julie take it away.
So as soon as I start talking about this person, everybody's going to know who it is. But hold your raucous applause till I list off all of the things that she has done this year. So this is someone who's been a broadcaster for about 6 years. She is on the board, serves on several committees on the board. She is there when we need her. And this year, she really stepped up. She's on the Fund Development Committee, and she helped us to produce every single major event. She actually produced every single major event that we did. So that was the Animal House project here at the Miners Foundry. It was that surprise event, Summer of Love. She did Hard Day's Night. She did our birthday party as well, and she also helped produce most recently the VIP portion of the City Folk event. So our volunteer of the year goes to Adela Wilcox.
Yeehaw. Okay, it's time for Steve Baker again.
I'm moving her up right now. Hi again. We're going to move one award up because I know we have somebody who needs to leave as well, and that is. But, it's easier this way. Anyway, this award is the Special Super Smokey the Bear Award for radio and social media firefighting and fire knowledge. Goes to our longtime special on-air contributor, Pascal from Ubinet.
Thank you. So just to be very clear, at this time there is no active fire burning in Nevada County. Thank you. Thank you for recognizing that radio and online and community all really work well together. Because guess what? We all live here, we all are happy to be here most of the time. Evenings like this, yes, really nice. And if it hadn't been for KVMR, maybe we wouldn't have pursued this fire thing, because when the Pendola fire started and we started putting up stuff, all of a sudden I got a call, and I believe it was this guy. Who are you people? Where are you? And how come you know stuff about fires? Well, it was because Susan, who is, by the way, she's the nice one in Ubinet. She's the nice one, okay? So let's be clear. You have all of Ubinet here, so right now, if there's something happening now, well, TFB. But You know, it is when everything goes wrong, when we have a fire in the middle of the night, and all of a sudden, Ibanez goes down because, oh, hey, we can't handle the traffic. There's too many people. But then they all have a radio. They all listen. And that is why it is so important that all of you are here. And many of you probably heard me at some point. Hi, it's Pascal. Put me on the air. And yes, I may sound grouchy, but please know that I am eternally, eternally grateful for what each and every one of you do, because this is what this community is all about. So thank you, thank you, thank you. And thank you.
Okay, now I'll get back to the beginning of what I was going to say tonight anyway. 2017, as some band from San Francisco might say, what a long, strange trip it's been, culturally, politically, well, in so many, many ways. Although right now, I wouldn't mind being in Alabama. And this has also been a year of many significant events here at KVMR. Julie pointed some of them out. I just wanted to mention that we once again saw what the power of fire can do to us and what we can do in response for our listeners and community. But really, who named the one fire on the ridge the Pleasant Fire? If that isn't the worst name choice in the history of fires, I don't know what is. As you know, town hall meetings became a way of life for us, from screen addiction to Civics 101, which Pascal put together. KVMR may have been the first station in the country to broadcast live an entire congressional town hall meeting back in March. And it sounded, and to me, that particular one sounded better on radio than in the hall. And if you were in the hall, you know what I mean. We also broadcast another congressional town hall with Congressman LaMalfa from Oroville. The same night, we were broadcasting another town hall meeting from the Nevada Theater live. Anything to keep Buzz busy. Then there was that fabled dusty, very dusty KVMR broadcast booth during WorldFest. You know, a former manager of the San Francisco Giants was named Dusty Baker. Maybe that had something to do with it. Strawberry, the Celtic Festival, even the County Fair all got nominations for Radio Event of the Year, anything to keep Buzz busy. And the In-Concert Sierra remote, the Nevada County Concert Band remotes, anything to keep Buzz busy. But at least I take that back. He did work on the live remote from Alaska, only he didn't have to go to Alaska. Anything to keep him busy. And also that great reunion that City Folk had in November with a live broadcast, Facebook video, and now a CD and DVD coming up. That got a number of votes as well when we get to the radio event of the year. Hey, Rick and Audra Snelson celebrated Rick's 35th Hard Country Show anniversary this year. And Rick's, amazingly enough, Rick's 35th birthday. I might have my math wrong on something, but anyway, over 40 people donated over $4,000 in their honor that afternoon. Well, it was quite a year. Oh, by the way, another thing I wanted to mention, because another broadcaster is stepping down and going to be leaving us early next year, probably toward the end of January or early February, and that's John Goodman. And I know he's here tonight, and maybe could we give him a round of applause for the great work he's done. With our first award now back in the order that we were doing it, or trying to do it, we're excited to go out of the box tonight. Tom Wolfe has won the Out of the Box award about 3 times for a word in Edgewise. This is the award for something that doesn't fit in elsewhere, which makes the winner even more proud of winning this award on a station that doesn't fit in elsewhere. This year's winner doesn't have a regular show, but he surely makes one shine on Friday mornings, and he's the kid. I'm old enough to call him the kid. Always has a smile on his face. Plus, he goes wild on the other side, which he's doing tonight, unless he's still in the room. But I think he's probably over in the studio with Jerry Ann Van Dyke. In honor of Todd's 2 2s, on the Out of the Box award goes to Todd Wahosky. And he is here, but he is here. Okay. Maybe we should have somebody volunteer to go over and give him his award. There we go. Interrupt him on the air. That'd be cool. Next up is the Osborne Woods Community Service Award, named after 2 of KVMR's late founders, who also had the foresight to be active in preserving Nevada City's historic downtown. Previous winners include Glenn Harrelson 3 times, I believe, Amigo Bob, Mikhail Graham, Joan Buffington, Elisa Parker, among others. This year's winner is the glib, the smart, and the cool, and the energy efficient, and then some Martin Webb for Thursday noon's Energy Report. The Early Bird Award is next for our intrepid 4 a.m. to 7 a.m. broadcasters, which is definitely not a lifestyle. It goes to a broadcaster who gets up early so you can get up easy. Past winners include the Truckee Tahoe pair, David Humphreys and Lynn Hines. Lynn now smartly living on the Ridge. Joyce Miller has won it, John Adams has won it, and this year the award goes, once again, to John Adams. Congratulations. One of our special awards is next. We'll call it the Substitute of the Year's Award, going to the woman who keeps our popular Sunday show in good hands when host Michael Keene is away. She is also doing a lot of digital work for us. Iris Bilodeau, come on up. Next up is the 2017 Ralph Henson Night Owl Award, renamed just last year to include Mr. Henson's name after he did a long stretch scheduling red-eye shows for us, those midnight to 4 a.m. shows. This year we honor 10-year Night Owl veteran Ed Gardner and his eclectic Wednesday night Overnight Harmonic Express. Not sure if he's here, but he could be. He may be sleeping. Do we have him? He's out there, we're hearing. Jeez. I was thinking he might be here because he's going on the air in about 4 hours. So about the time we're done with the award ceremony, you'll be able to turn him on. And by the way, Ed is leaving his program at the end of this month. After 10 years doing it. Thank you so much, Ed. And you won't have to pay for it. It'll be free speech. The Jody Fenimore Award for Excellence in Public Affairs Programming stretches back to the early 90s, if any of you can remember that far back. Now, Jody was a legendary KVMR inspiration who battled AIDS to the very end, sharing his loving spirit and passionate beliefs through his creative use of radio. Maybe that's why people like Mark Stannard, Al Stoller, Mike Thornton, Joan Buffington, Elisa Parker, Michael Stone, Patricia Smith, and others have been among the winners. Here's how one nomination read this year. To Mischief it should go. Relentless coverage of Indigenous peoples, issues, and music, she has taken the reins from Skip and Michael Ben and elevated the show to a new level, heightening us second peoples' awareness of the history and current lives and music of the first peoples. The 2017 Jody Fenimore Award goes to Jennifer Robin for Resilience Radio. You know, it was just a couple of years ago that we began honoring outstanding programming during morning hours. And this one, well, today has an obvious winner, the most votes in any single category this year. And the award goes, just like last year, to a broadcaster who says he appreciates leaving KVMR at the top of his game. And unfortunately, he's leaving us at the end of this year. Mike Bissell for the Wednesday Morning Show.
We also call him DJ Pickle.
Next up is another Program Committee Special Award. As the nomination says, it's for the leading non-broadcaster contribution to KVMR coolness and diversity in programming, someone who has broadcast and membership drive specials via Angel Pledges and Simple Charm, someone who did gospel, blues, and soul pop specials on remarkable artists like Sam Cooke and Aretha Franklin, and someone who did our very first Funk Bomb special. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome a man who loves working with the likes of Jimmy Accardi, Mary St. Mary, Steve Cagle, and many others, our honorary broadcaster of the year, Warren Dusenberry. He was here earlier today volunteering his butt off too, so. And right now, another special award, in fact, so special no one on the program committee even knows about it, though they'd be in complete agreement with it. A year and a half ago, we started talking about a second online streaming service offering music not usually heard on KVMR. It became clear it'd be a stream for millennial listeners called KVMRX, the name the volunteers themselves chose for it. But somebody had to work with our intrepid engineer, Buzz Barnett. Somebody had to recruit millennials to do it. I mean, 20-somethings don't exactly flock our way. Somebody had to teach them how to do it, and somebody had to figure out what we do during the times it wouldn't be on air live. And that somebody was spinning us off the dial, helping create a KVMR of the future. The KVMRX Dude of the Year goes to Sean Dooley Miller. And this is one very special time because Sean is going to present a couple KVMR X awards for us.
Thank you so much for that award. Oh man. So why am I up here? I'm giving awards away. Why? Because we do it every year. Why? Because you guys deserve it. All right, so this past April, KVMR went on this new endeavor, if you will. Had nothing to do with radio per se, but the endless, vast, uncharted waters of the internet. What I'm talking about here is KVMR X. It's our new online stream. And during this time, this process, we found so many untapped young talent in this community of ours to host weekly internet radio shows without the oversight of the FCC or the confines of the traditional radio formula we are so accustomed to. And while I think all of our KVMR X DJs deserve some award for their new, refreshing approaches to this medium, I'm here to honor two DJs in particular that I feel have really gone above and beyond in this past 8 months of our new online experiments. All right, the first KVMR X DJ I'd like to present a gold record award to is someone who, after week, provides an exemplary array of new music with such inviting personal style. So, this gold record that I'd like to give away, it's real gold. It's real gold. Is the host of Undertow. Mark your calendars, 8 to 10 p.m. on KVMR X. Miss Suzanne Calkins, if you're still here, please come up and get your gold record award. Yes, you, ma'am. Yeah! Your gold record. All right. The next gold record I'd like to hand out is a DJ who, from the get-go, impressed me with his lively personality and his love for the deep cuts that you don't normally hear on the radio. But as I saw this person's show develop over the past 8 months, I sort of found myself amazed by their unpredictable, uncategorizable, I don't think that's even a word, curation. It's my great pleasure to hand this gold record to the host of Come Up Screaming, Tuesday nights, 9 p.m. to midnight, the Say Hey Kid, Mr. Leroy Tully, in the house. The most dapper man in the town right now. Some nice digs on that guy. And then final award, this person I call the angel of organization. Every couple months helps me out with the membership drive. Week after week comes and asks me if she needs help. I need help labeling CDs. Mr. Laura Scholar Oates, I don't know if you are here, but here's a gold record for you. Regardless, please clap your hands for Laura Scholar Oates. Thanks. All right.
Well, next up is our award for outstanding programming during afternoon hours. Those would be noon to 6 p.m. This year, it goes to someone who is no rookie. In fact, this week is his 30th anniversary doing a radio program called The Fat Music Show, 1 p.m. Mondays, Felton Pruitt.
I can't hear it in the back. I don't know what you said.
You won an award.
I know. Thanks.
You can say thanks for it.
I don't know what it's for though. I really couldn't hear him in the back. We don't hear a lot, so.
Outstanding programming between noon and 6.
Okay, thank you. All of you guys deserve it too, because that's what we do, is outstanding programming. So, for you guys, thank you. All right.
Now we go from honoring a lifelong radio professional to looking at some of the newest broadcasters we have on the air. Some of the past rookies of the year, and this is an amazing group really, include Mary St. Mary, Greg Jewett, Edie Cassell, Mark Leviton, Leah Farrell, April Miranda, Michael Axelman, Charlotte Peterson, among others. Given the events of this year and last, and even just the past few weeks, this show has an accurate name, even though it works toward love and compassion. Hosts of He Said, She Said, or should it be She Said, He Said, Paul Sanders and Harriet Diamond are 2017 Rookies of the Year. Another special award. Sometimes a musician has profound influence on us, and it's like the loss of a close friend when they die. For his care in saying goodbye, well, the Greg Allman Memorial Award goes to Thursday morning show host Paul Barbieri. We listed some of the nominations for the radio event of the year earlier. The one we think most resonated with our listeners was simple and something we all can share. The program committee of KVMR hereby awards the volunteers and staff of KVMR. Every one of you did something to help out in some way or another, I am sure, for outstanding regional fire coverage, particularly in October 2017. Give yourselves a big applause. We do have some special Smokey the Bear awards for our first responders. We honor Mark Leviton for his extraordinary job on air as the fire spread and bringing word to our listeners midnight to 4. We honor Adela Wilcox for taking over at 4 and doing a superb job getting updates to our listeners. And we honor we honor fire evacuee to the, for changing her role, I should say, from fire evacuee to the journalist she is, Joyce Miller, for assisting Adela in those early fire updates. Mark, Adela, and Joyce, please come on up. There's Joyce. And this is where we give Pascal the award. Anyway, our final awards tonight are the John Nichols Awards for Excellence in Music Programming, named as is our music library for the late John Nichols, one of the original and creative minds and voices instrumental in nurturing KVMR's musical sound as both program and music director in the 80s and early 90s. Previous winners read like a kind of who's who at KVMR, and I can't list them all, but let's say they go from Peggy Lou to Laura Miller, from Wesley Robertson to Redlocks, from Alice McAllister to Jenny Michael, from B.D. Caldwell to Derek Washington, from Kim Rogers to Johnny Gallagher, and many, many others. Tonight we honor 3, 1 repeat winner, and 2 first-timers. In fact, votes don't lie. Maybe her win last year brought her even more votes this year. Folk, Celtic, and so much more music. Winner for a second year in a row, The Long Brick Road and Laurie Desjardins. That would be the New Brick Road. All right. Our second Nichols winner tonight celebrated his silver anniversary on the air this year, doing a membership drive show. Always a wonderful sense of humor and a smile on that face. And folks, this guy don't need no stinking badges. Ragged but right on Saturday afternoons, Thomas Greener. Thank you. And our final winner tonight has spent time late night doing oldies in the afternoon, a music magazine host, and now has been taking us to an ocean beach the past couple of decades on Sunday mornings for all he's done on behalf of Hawaiian music and culture and for all his other musical loves and everything he's done for KVMR. This John Nichols Music Award goes to Michael Keene and Connie Kapila. And this ends this portion of the program. Stay tuned.
I want to invite Felton back up really quickly. Felton, can you hear me? Since he missed his moment of glory, we're going to give him a little extra action here.
I was in the back, and we were actually talking about how we couldn't hear. So, so I just wanted to say that, you know, I used to work with XM Satellite Radio, and I thought I was working with some of the most amazing people in the world. And we created a different thing in radio. And we did, and I was working with the most amazing people at the time. But I came here about 12 years ago, and I haven't wanted to leave since, and it's because of all of you. You folks are just, you have done something even more amazing. We have taken over our airwaves in America through community radio, and what we do is so important right now. So I just wanted to say thank you to everybody in this room, because you're all amazing. So you need a hand.
I guess we're done with awards, y'all. Thank you for coming tonight. We are going to do our group photo in the other room. I don't know if we need chairs, but if we could all make our way over to get posed by Doug, and we'd love you all to be in the photo. Anything else? No.
Congrats to all you winners, which is everyone in this room.
Oh, the raffle. Oh, dude, we forgot about the raffle.
said at the end of the tune.
Greetings, folks. If we have new broadcasters, we would love to get a photo of you in the other room. We have a professional photographer, the fantastic Doug Austin, to take your photo. What kind of shit is that? What, he's going to turn it back up when I say shit. Do you see how this is? I was saying that Matt should get down there and get his picture taken, and all new volunteer broadcasters should. It's a free service. Do it. It's awesome. Doug Austin rocks. Yeah, right now, Jeff. Right now, Jeff, right? Right now. Hi. Nice to see you. Down into the other room. Yeah, what's it? The ballroom? The dance floor. Get your ass on over to the dance floor. Get your picture taken. All right, that's it. Yeah, you guys are back on.
Not too loud, am I? make songs go as long as we want, right? Wait, where are you going? Night in Viterbo? charm. Right in there. You know. Oh, mille grazie, mille grazie. Your right hand is huge. Your left hand, you're like 8 inches from this a lot, and so it just move in closer. Your right hand is huge. I'm not going to play any quieter than I am. I can hear myself like as if I'm where I'm supposed to be.
I'm not quite that loud, so.
Well, yes, you are, but you just don't know it. especially the last half of that tune. The right hand really spoke for a change. Really, I don't know what you did. You have to get close to the mics, you know. So where are you going here? Are we going to Bellashico? Well, then stop. Don't start. I have to change instruments.
You don't have to be so loud all the time.
Well, I can't hear personally. A banjo. I'll play the banjo next, maybe. Sorry, you know, it was in tune a minute ago, but if I play like that, you're not going to like it. Oh my God. My E string dropped a half tone. That's weird. What do you mean? Let's do Bella Ciao? Well, no, that's singing. Mirabella? I don't know. I put a banjo on. What do you want to do?
Do you play Mirabella on banjo?
No, but I can.
What songs on there do you play on banjo?
Bella Chico, Bella Ciao, Poji Bornzi, Tarantella. That's guitar.
Just remember that everybody's looking at us, so let's have nice looks on you.
I am. If you would just stop like switching shit when I'm supposed to be playing another instrument, you know, I would be a lot happier. hard to keep up with an accordion because you don't have to tune it, you know? I don't know if you're really smiling or you're just making money. So I would smile because I'm really smiling. That's a real smile. I liked it. We jumped all over the list. So, Mirabelle? You started alone. Yeah, this is a. Where do you want it? Well, it is, but not as loud as you Merci beaucoup.
Grazie mille. It's Italian, remember?
Oh, yeah.
What else is on that list?
Mille grazie.
Just to, tutto va bene.
You mean I like my morning cappuccino? You want me to sing? Oh, God.
Can you do that, or I'll sing it?
Well, let's might have to do it together. Check 1, 2. Cappuccino, sitting in the sunny cafe. I like my vino, Italian rosso, della casa, per favore. I like my sea warm and blue. I like my sand, soft and smooth. Give me good cheese, give me good bread. Pile me molto bene till I'm dead. Like they say, la dolce vita, in Italiano, life is much sweeter. Oh, amore, polo bere, oh, vino rosso con me. Be better than Italian sweaters when the evening starts to chill, and watching women in stilettos and cobblestones is such a thrill. Prosciutto and pecorino, absoluto divine. Ravioli, contatti, I'll be molto bene all the time. It's like they say, la dolce vita, l'italiano makes it sweeter. Mio amore, polo bere, o vino rosso con me. Dolce vita, Italiano, life is much sweeter. Mio amore, voglio bere, o vino rosso con me. It's like they say, la dolce vita, in Italiano, life is much sweeter. Mio amore, voglio bere, o vino rosso con me. Povino rosso con me, povino rosso con me. Grazie. I think that maybe singing is useless in here because nobody can hear our voices. I don't think, you know. They hear the music. I think. Whatever you think.
Just seeing as my accordion sounds so marginal to me and your guitar sounds so great, I think I'm going to sing because I just feel like sort of.
It's just because you can't hear yourself. I hear you through the monitor really well. We sound balanced to me. I can quit playing anytime.
Get your banjo out for
Do what?
Bella Ciao. I don't care if they can hear us or not.
Let me just make sure it's in tune a little bit before we start. That's all right. Boy, there's something really strange going on. My E string, it keeps dropping a half tone. It must be slipping or something.
Una mattina mi son svegliato, oh bella ciao, bella ciao, bella ciao, ciao, ciao. Una mattina mi son svegliato e ho trovato in vaso, oh partigiano, portami via, oh bella ciao, bella ciao, bella ciao, 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 partigiano, portami via, che mi sento di morire. Oh partigiano, una mattina, oh bella ciao, bella ciao, bella ciao, 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 partigiano, una mattina che mi sento di morire. Oh partigiano, portami via, oh bella ciao, bella ciao, bella ciao, 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 partigiano, portami via, che mi sento di morire. E se io muoio da partigiano, oh bella ciao, bella ciao, bella ciao, ciao, ciao. Se io muoio da partigiano, tu mi devi seppellire e seppellire lassù montagna. Bella ciao, bella ciao, bella ciao, 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 seppellire lassù montagna sotto ombra di un bel fior. Tutte le gente che passavano, oh bella ciao, bella ciao, bella ciao, 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 tutte le gente che passavano, che mi venisse morire. E questo fiore del partigiano, oh bella ciao, bella ciao, bella ciao, 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 questo fiore del partigiano, morto per la libertà. E questa fiore del partigiano, morto per la libertà. Grazie, mille, mille grazie.
Mille grazie.
How's Six Interesting on that list?
Well, how are we doing?
Time-wise? 6:52.
Let's do Calvin's tunes. Oh, wait a minute, wait a minute, wait a minute. They said they wanted Italian. Me too. It's like almost 7, right? Vita Bra, okay. It's over. I can make it sound like a bouzouki and a shumbus and all sorts of instruments. Yeah. And a shumbus, the Turkish instrument. That should be it. They wanted to get on the microphone there. Whatever you want. I thought you guys were ready. Okay, better get them a drink. One more. Hey.
Hey!
Good to see you, Larry. Good to see you.
Same here. I love what you guys do.
Thank you.
I don't want to tell it now. I've got a banjo accordion show.
All right.
How unusual. Can you play the chords to Funiculi Funicula?
If I can see them. What was that?
Me, probably.
I'll play guitar because it's
Play guitar.
quieter.
Just want to say you're far from background music or wallpaper. Who's in the other corner opposite you?
Well, when there's a woman like you running around in a red dress,
I like your Pippi
how can we
Longs-
just be wallpaper?
Pippi Longstockings there.
No, you are very much a part of this evening.
Hey, Steve.
I swear I heard some small class stuff going on there.
Italiano.
A little bleed over. A little bleed over.
Pisano. All right. So Funiculi, are you going to sing it?
Yeah.
Wait, the words are right there.
One, two, three, one, two,
What?
three, you play.
Play what?
Funiculi Funicula.
You're not going to play with me?
Not so much. One, two, three.
so do I.
Something about to be a melancholy, to pine inside,
To pine inside.
But I love to spend my time in singing a joyous song,
A joyous song.
to fill the air with bravely ringing. It's far from wrong, it's far from wrong. Yamo, yamo, music sounds so far. Yamo, yamo, music sounds so far.
Thank you, love. Thank you, love.
Joy is everywhere, love. Yamo, yamo, music sounds so far. Yamo, yamo, music sounds so far. Funiculi, funicula, funiculi, funicula. Joy is everywhere, funiculi, funicula. Well, joy is everywhere, funiculi, funicula. Yamo, yamo, na, funiculi, funicula.
Hello, hello. Is everybody in? The ceremony is about to begin. You're a bunch of rock and rollers. You get that reference, right? Yeah. Yeah. Okay, folks. It's that time of the evening where we're going to talk at you a whole bunch. Can we have a round of applause for Maggie and Luke? Maggie McCaig and Luke Wilson. One piece of beaucoup chapeau, two pieces of beaucoup chapeau. Beautiful, beautiful. Thank you. Also, a big shout out to Summertimes for providing the food tonight. And how about to the volunteers who helped set up tonight? Too numerous to name, but you know who you are. Well, thanks for coming to this year's Volunteer Appreciation Extravaganza. It's always nice to be here once a year in a room of all my favorite people. No joke. So, because we have a lot going on tonight, I'm just going to hand it on over to Julie Shirley, General Manager.